Hey Chums, welcome back to a Game with Chums podcast, episode 4, I believe, where I, your host this week, Rory, am joined, as always, by Paul. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm all right, yeah. Same old as usual. As I think it's
Huh?
probably well known by this point, we're still kind of in lockdown. You wouldn't know it if you go outside. I went out for a drive earlier and hundreds of people about. But yeah, I think some restrictions are easing tomorrow. And I don't think you'll notice much difference, to be honest, because people seem to be just going about their business as normal. But yeah, same old, 2 weeks more stuck indoors, doing not very little. What's your last fortnight look like? What you been up to? What you been playing? What you been watching? What you been doing?
Thanks for asking.
What you been streaming?
What have I been doing? Exactly, yeah. What I've been playing is continuing playing the Star Wars Battlefront 2 Let's Play. There wasn't an episode this week because there was some audio issues, funny enough.
Shenanigans.
I use from when I record or when we record, we always use the Blue Snowball because it's good for capturing two people's voices. But I've noticed recently that the audio quality has been going a bit bad, like it's crackling, fuzzing. And normally I could unplug it, make sure the connection's plugged in properly, and that normally seems to work. But recently that's not been working. So yeah, that's why there was no episode, because I couldn't use that. I tried to record a commentary, like critiquing myself and the game, and I did that on Audacity. 20 minutes in, it started to crackle again, but there was no way of me knowing that when I was recording Audacity. So I couldn't use that. So that very night, I decided to buy a new mic because I've been meaning to get one. And I just went on Amazon, checked one of the highest rated webcam mics that was available. And I found one available, and it was on offer. So I bought that, and now I'm using that today. But yeah, there will be another episode of Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'll have to. I don't know if I can re-record that, but I'll probably do another commentary over that. Yeah, what I've been streaming, streaming on our Twitch channel, Game with Chums. Check it out. Lots of Apex. Bit too much Apex. I don't want to be classed as an Apex streamer because I'm not very good. But I've been also playing some Dead by Daylight with some mutual friends of ours. That's pretty fun. It can be very frustrating. There's lots because the killers are OP as hell.
Yeah.
Some killers are just ridiculously OP, and it's just like, what's the point? The game is really difficult for a survivor, especially a level one like myself with no perks or no buffs or nothing. So that's been frustrating. What I've been excuse me. What I've been watching, I started to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus. Very good. A lot more action packed than WandaVision, as you would expect. Besides that, what else have I? Nothing really on my downtime. Just really. Oh yeah. Well, me and Mr. Roars, we've been thinking about upgrading our artwork for our various channels, and I found a nice seller on Fiverr. For people who don't know, it's a place where you can get lots of stuff done, like overlays, banner work, videos, and it's competitive prices. A lot of different artists out there. But we found one, and I put an order in, and hopefully in like 5 days now, our order should come in, and I should update the artwork. So stay tuned and check that out. I'm very excited for that.
I'm looking forward to that. We've needed to change our artwork for a long time.
So. I would definitely put the artist's Fiverr details available, so you can go and check her out, because she's very talented, very talented lady. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. But Mr. Roars, more importantly, what have you been doing? What have you been playing? What have you been watching? How's your life in general, Mr. Roars? Please tell me.
I'm glad you said more importantly, because obviously that's true. But I finally finished Mass Effect Andromeda in the 2 weeks since we last recorded. I think I finished like a few days after our last podcast went up, and I'm so glad it's over.
That good,
Boy, howdy, is that not a good game? As I mentioned before, like I wanted to complete it just because I never did at the time, and it always kind of felt a bit weird for there to be a Mass Effect game that I hadn't completed, given I've played the other ones like 5 times. But it's not a good game. It's really, really bland and boring, and most of the cast kind of suck. Vetra's cool, Victorian crew member, but most of the rest are kind of there. But yeah, I finally finished it, and I'm glad I did. I came in just under 40 hours, so I was I did the main story, I did all the outposts, and I did all the loyalty missions, and I left it at that. And I checked my save file for backup when it came out, and I was less than halfway through the game. I think I'd done 2 loyalty missions, and I was less than halfway through the story, and I only had 1 outpost, and I had 41 hours on the clock. So this time I've done like the whole game in under 40 hours. So it kind of shows how much filler crap there is in that game. Yeah. Very little of it's of any consequence. But because I finished that, I thought I'd start a new game. So I started playing Life is Strange Before the Storm, which has been on my to-do list for ages. And started playing that because, as we might mention in our news section, new Life is Strange game was announced. So I thought I'd better catch up. And what have I been watching? I've been watching Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Sorry, I'll yeah, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah. I've been watching it for a couple of weeks. I just watch an episode a day, and problem is I watch it late at night before I go to bed, and a few times I've like fallen asleep halfway through an episode, so I've had to rewatch about 4 episodes because I just couldn't remember what happened. But it's good. I'm enjoying it. Made by the same studio that are doing the current final season of Attack on Titan, which I'm enjoying less than Jujutsu Kaisen, because it's just taken such a wild turn, and not exactly what I was expecting the final season to be. Still enjoyable, it's still entertaining, but it's just it took a wild 180, so not enjoying it as much as I was expecting to. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen's a good show, and I've noticed a lot of voice actors. I do this a lot for some reason. Voice actors really seem to stick in my head. I'll be watching an anime, I'll go, that sounds familiar. There's a character called Panda in Jujutsu Kaisen who's literally a panda. And there was one line he spoke in an episode I was watching the other day. I was like, that sounds like Daru from Steins Gate. And it's Daru. And also the guy that voices Kiryu in the Yakuza games is in it as well. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's about it, I think. Just been playing a bit of Life is Strange Before the Storm, watching Jujutsu Kaisen. And yeah, that's about it. Not doing much else. Haven't been able to go anywhere. Go out for the odd 20-minute drive just to get out of the house for a bit, and that's about it.
Interesting. Yeah, going back.
You were going to say something.
Going back to what I've been watching. I've watched all of season 2 and 3 of Attack on Titan. Season 2 was really good. Short, but really good, and it was very like it was almost linear in a way, if that makes sense. It was very like streamlined. Like it felt like going down a long corridor. It's like the season just depended on them being in this forest and chasing these other. I won't spoil it, but season 3 I loved the first half because there's no Titans in it nearly. It's all human politics, but it was so good. It fleshed out the world a lot. It fleshed out a particular character's backstory a lot. It was focused on that particular character. He was the main protagonist in that arc, and I loved it.
Talking about Levi, obviously.
Levi, yeah, really, really like really good. I mean, the latter half was also really good. When they retake Wall Maria, but that the beginning part, it was just non-stop. It was action, but also like very like sort of how the world works and stuff like that. Magnificent. I was gripped throughout the first episode right to the last, and the last few episodes was also great, and that also not focused on. It was very tactical, not like the last battle with the certain Titan and how that came out. It was it was really good.
Very well thought out.
Very well thought out. And now I'll be starting season 4 either later today when I go to bed or tomorrow. But yeah, Great.
Yeah, I always tell people, like, if they're trying to catch up, like, season 2, just bomb right through it, because it is short, and it is very linear, as you say. It's just there aren't very many sort of like little side stories and stuff. There's a few, but generally it's just like a straight shot. So I always tell people just bomb through that. But season 3, I think I said this to you a while ago, it's probably one of the best single seasons of anime I've ever seen. It's so
Yeah.
good.
So good.
And it's just constant action, constant revelations, and then when you get to like the end and you see sort of some of the revelations at the end, you genuinely like, what the? Yeah, I think season 3 is amazing.
WTF. But yeah, so that's us. Now we. Oh, sorry, you're hosting. So
now, well,
yeah.
now we come to the news, which I mean, you can probably take the lead on anyway because you're the one with the notes.
I've got some things written down that happened during the past fortnight that we have in between each podcast. Starting off with I was just talking about this earlier before the podcast. Discord are looking to sell, and rumor is that Microsoft are looking to buy them. This could go either two ways. It could go great, like they've done with some of their acquisitions, but it also can go another way, which it can go disastrously wrong, like what happened to another video call like service, Skype. That what happened, like Skype was on a high, and then they got bought by Microsoft, and then that sort of their service sort of gradually fell apart and was eclipsed by Zoom, and to a lesser like because Discord's more focused on the video game sort of industry. It's not more people like in business don't really use it.
Yeah,
but it's huge. It's huge
game
in the video
community focus.
It's a game community. So I'm thinking if Microsoft do buy it, it will be in the Xbox sort of domain. So I think that they will probably buy it, but hopefully just leave it as it is and just support it.
Yeah, just be hands off. That seems to be how they've handled most of their acquisitions of late. Like they bought LinkedIn and GitHub for billions each, and they've basically been hands off with both of those and just let them continue as they were. But it's just like we pay your salaries, but everything stays the same. And a lot of the studios the Xbox division has bought of late have said pretty much the same thing. Like you don't like walk into our office and it says like a Microsoft subsidiary or anything like that. We don't have at Microsoft.com emails. It's just the same company, but someone else is paying our checks. So I'm hoping if Microsoft do buy it, they do just keep their fingers out of it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we use Discord a lot. I'm on it every day.
Yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned Skype because I use Discord now for running Final Fantasy 14 content.
Yeah. Do you wanna quickly let people know what kind of content you do with Final? Because you mentioned it. So do you want to elaborate a bit more?
I've been playing it since it came out in 2013. Jesus, nearly 8 years. But I've kind of restarted. I like binned my original character and restarted a few years ago, so I'm still kind of catching up. So I'm just at the start of the latest expansion now, Shadowbringers. I say latest, it came out in 2019. There's a new one coming out in a few months, so I've got to try and get through that soon. But I've been running through it with a friend who is like on the cutting edge. He's like doing the latest like raids and stuff right now, so he's kind of like stepping back a bit to help me catch up. But yeah, when it came out in 2013, I played it with Dan for a couple of months, and funnily enough, we used Skype to chat while we were playing it. And I think that was the last time I ever used Skype, was like back in probably like early 2014. And I don't think I've used it since. I think you and I have probably tried it for a couple of things here and there, like doing stuff for the channel, but ended up not using it. And like when we're recording co-op stuff, we chat in Discord and capture that audio for our videos. We've got our own server, which is mainly being used for Among Us stuff at the moment. But we use it all the time. We use it every day. I'm on a couple of other servers for other things. So I'm hoping if Microsoft do buy it, they're just fairly hands off with it. And one thing that would be pretty cool actually is if they do integrate it onto Xbox. So you, instead of like Xbox voice chat, you can use Discord. So that would be pretty cool. But yeah, hopefully. So apparently they're in exclusive talks at the moment. So Microsoft are apparently the only
One's
potential
can
buyer they're
afford them.
talking to.
No
Well,
one else can afford them.
You think of the companies that could afford them, and a lot of the alternatives aren't great, like Google or Amazon or Tencent or someone like that. So I think if they're going to be bought, I'd rather it be Microsoft. I know people are going to say, oh, you guys are basically an Xbox channel. Of course you're going to say that. But yeah, I don't really want to see Google or Amazon buying them. Ideally, they just wouldn't get bought, but apparently it's not really particularly profitable venture. So that's why they're the ones looking to be bought. They apparently approached Microsoft and said, hey, do you want to buy us? So who knows?
Yeah.
Wait and see where it goes, I guess.
It's a shame because when Microsoft bought Beam and then eventually became Mixer, there was good. I really liked the interface for Mixer and how it was integrated to Xbox. Because
Mixer was great.
Yeah, the resolution that you can stream at was much better than Twitch. I still think Twitch resolution is not very good compared to Mixer, Mixer was very good.
Yeah,
It's more stable as well than I think sometimes Twitch is. It's just that it didn't grow, especially during the pandemic and when everyone was locked down. It didn't grow as much as I don't think it grew at all as much user base at all during the lockdown. So they think they were the thinking was probably if we can't grow when everyone's at home, then it's never going to happen. Yeah. So it was a shame, and people had a lot of prejudice against Mixer, I think.
Well, it was coming into a very entrenched market, wasn't it? I mean, Twitch had been around for so long. I mean, it used to be Justin.tv before it was even renamed Twitch. Twitch had been around for years and it was very entrenched. And then obviously Amazon bought it, and with their sort of backing, it was able to get even bigger. And it just wasn't going to happen, which is a shame. Like you say, we both really like Mixer. We kind of, when we started streaming originally, we were pretty much exclusively on Mixer.
Yeah.
And yeah, like say, the stream quality was better. It was much less delayed.
Yeah.
So like you could like stick a comment in chat, and then like a second later you'd see it, and like the streamer would be like, would read it out, and it would feel almost seamless. Whereas on Twitch, and we had this yesterday as well, because you were streaming Apex yesterday, and I was in the chat keeping an eye on things, making sure the didn't get out of hand talking to myself in chat.
Well, Dave was on there as well.
Yeah, Dave popped in a few times, but it was like I posted a comment, even like when you were between rounds, because obviously you're not really going to get much of a chance to look at it while you're actually playing. But even between rounds, I'd post a comment and it'd be like, "Has he seen it yet? Has he seen that comment yet?" And it was like 15 seconds later, you read it out, and I was like, "That's a lot of delay." That's
a lot of delay.
Slow. Whereas with Mixer, it would have been a lot faster.
A lot faster.
Because you were using your new mic for the first time yesterday, and you were like, "How do I sound?" And I was like, "Yeah, you sound great." And you were like, "Guys, how do I sound?" And I'm like, "I already posted a comment like 10 seconds ago."
Yeah.
Another 10 seconds go by, and you're like, "Oh, okay, apparently I sound good."
Yeah. But yeah, that's Discord. Looking to sell. Another piece of news.
It was have to wait and see.
Yeah, another piece of news. It was the BAFTA Game Awards. Did you watch it, Mr.
It was. I didn't watch it. I watched. I was on Reset Era at the time. I just couldn't be asked to watch it, so I saw a few of the awards come in, but I only know like 2 or 3 of them. I haven't really bothered to go and check, to be honest.
I know the game of the year was Hades.
Yeah, Hades won Game of the Year and Best Narrative as well, I think. I own Hades and I still haven't played it. I'll have to get around to that at some point.
Yeah.
I know Sea of Thieves won one as well.
Yeah.
Best,
I think they for growing. Game. Yeah, evolving. Yeah. From what it started as to what it is now, it's pretty much a different kettle of fish. I mean, the mechanics are still the same, but it's a lot more to do on there. It's grown, despite what a lot of people said about the game when it first came out and how it would die. It's still there and it's still growing, and people love that game. Really love it.
like 20 odd million people have played it at this point. I think some 25 million, 28 million, somewhere around there.
Something like that, especially like with the Xbox and PC players. It's just, it's on Steam as well. It's just grown.
Steam now,
yeah. But yeah, I'm happy for that. But apart from that, I can't remember who. I don't know who else won, and this is pretty bad. We should be keeping an eye on this. But I do know it was a virtual one online again. So they had people in their homes just using Zoom to present awards and stuff like that. I think Last of Us won a few awards. Last of Us 2. Ghost of Tsushima, I think probably won an award, but I probably for best music, I think. But I could be wrong. So let's move on quickly.
Let's move on quickly before we embarrass ourselves.
Speaking of Ghost of Tsushima, there's going to be a film apparently in the works.
There is,
yeah. By the
I saw this
director
news
from the director of John Wick.
Yeah. I saw this news and I was like, is this what Sony is going to do now? They're going to like make games that are very like
cinematic.
Yeah, they like take a lot from film and then make a film of the game that's taken a lot from film. And it's weird because like obviously when Ghost of Tsushima came out, there was a lot of talk of how they were like trying to, I was going to say ape Japanese cinema, but that sounds negative when I don't think it's a negative.
Homage.
But yeah, they were taking a lot from like Kurosawa films and stuff.
Yeah.
And
there's even a mode you can play in Kurosawa mode, I think, which is all in black and white.
Black and white,
yeah.
And I saw people in like one of the announcement threads for this film going, yeah, this really makes sense. This probably make a really good film. I'm like, well, yeah, there's a reason for that. Kind of aping a lot of like samurai cinema. And it's kind of the same thing with like the Last of Us TV show they're making. I'm like, The Last of Us was like a TV show in game form. It was like a bit of like The Road, a bit of like Children of Man. Yeah. A bit of like The Road,
Children of Man.
Children of Man. And it took bits from all of that. And it's like, does it need to be a TV show? Because it's already been done. It's like the game is kind of inspired by those things. So I don't know. I mean, it makes sense for Sony as a business because they have Sony Pictures. And obviously it's a way to probably divert more attention towards those games as well. Like when this stuff comes out on TV or in the cinema, and there'll be people that, watch TV shows and watch films, but don't necessarily play video games that might be introduced to them. So it makes sense from a business standpoint. It just kind of made me chuckle a bit considering how sort of how close their games and are to sort of like how heavily influenced they are by TV and cinema and stuff.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like there's a Uncharted film coming out.
Yeah, that as well. I forgot to mention that one.
Tom Holland.
Does that need to exist? I mean, you've already got Indiana Jones, and you've got, the Tomb Raider films aren't great either.
It's got Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg playing Sully. So who knows? It could be good. Like we'll wait and see.
I mean, it could be good.
That's what Sony seems to be doing a lot now, is to make a lot of
cinematic games and make game films.
Yeah. So that's the news, Mr. Roz. What's the subject of today?
Oh, actually, one other thing. I did kind of touch on it, and then I forgot. A new Life is Strange game was announced.
Okay. Oh yeah. I don't know much about it. I just saw it. I was like, another one. They're churning these out quite quickly now, aren't they? So I wonder if they're going to that into the road, into the ground.
9, isn't it? It's not being made by Don't Nod.
Oh, yeah.
It's Deck 9 who made Before the Storm. It's their sort of like first proper go at like a proper main series, I guess. It's like Before the Storm's kind of a spin-off.
It is cool, isn't it? Really, isn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I've played the first one. If you've been watching our channel since the beginning, you'll know that our first Let's Play was Life is Strange 1, and that's the only one I've played. And I do own Before the Storm and Life is Strange 2, and they've just kind of been on the shelf for a while. So I thought when the new one was announced, I thought, right, better catch up. But it looks pretty good. It looks nice. I mean, I can understand why Don't Nod would move on, because they created the IP, but they don't actually own it. Square Enix owns it. So obviously, I'm guessing Don't Nod are kind of done with it. which is why Deck Nine are making the next one.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought the trailer looked pretty cool.
No, I don't know
But
anything
anyway.
about it, to be honest. Not,
Yeah,
I
it's
like Life is Strange, but I wouldn't say like it's going to be like an Assassin's Creed. They're going to churn one out every couple of years, and I'm so done with Assassin's Creed. I'm just, even if like people say Valhalla's good, I'm just like, yeah, I don't really care. So, yeah. So
let's move on to the main topic then.
what's
Now
the main
that
topic?
discussed the news. Well, the main topic of today is us.
We're narcissists.
Yeah, we're massive narcissists. No, just sort of explaining who we are, where we come from, what we're doing with the channel, why we started the channel in the first place. Because we're a few episodes into the podcast now, so it might be a good idea to properly introduce ourselves.
Because if you people just listen, just exclusively listen to the podcast, you might think we're just podcasters, but no, we actually started off, and we still do YouTube. We're YouTube creators, not highly successful YouTube creators, but YouTube creators nonetheless. But yeah, let's go back all the way back to 2016, end of 2016, I think is when the genesis of it came. I don't think I was there straight from the beginning, but it was a conversation between you and ex chum Dan. So
I think it was a conversation between all of us, but me and Dan were kind of for it, and you were like, I'm not really that fussed. And then I guess we managed to talk you around, and I think we recorded our first videos in like November 2016 or something. But we didn't upload them until like the following February for some reason.
I think it was we recorded them, but we sat on them for like until 2017 because everyone kept saying to me, you've got to make the thumbnails and the artwork, and I was just like, yeah, I'll do it. And I was quite not despondent, or not, like I was just like, look, okay guys, I'll do it.
I don't care about this shit.
don't push me, baby. Like, you know what I mean? Like don't. I got more important things to do. But obviously, like once we did all that, I did the logo and the early banner work and started making the thumbnails. We started then. It was more like how we used to. It used to just be random videos. There was no sort of pattern to it. We'll record like 40 minutes of a video. Yeah, on any platform. We'll just like, we could just record. We'll all gather around. Normally it was at Dan's place to begin with. Get some crisps, get some snacks, and just make a whole day of it, and just record whatever, like the games I brought around and you brought around, and see. And you could.
It's funny you mentioned the crisps and snacks, because that was like, main thing you could hear in our early videos was just like all the rustling and the chewing and everything.
I think there was some
we
videos
had to put an end to that.
Yeah, Dan was eating cereal at some point,
and cereal or eating nuts.
At the beginning, we didn't think much of that, because we were just like, oh, we're just hanging out. Video. Yeah, but then like me and Ross, we just both said that doesn't sound good, especially when we're crunching and the mic's picking up. It's like, sound really annoying and doesn't sound good. So we stopped that and
put an end to that.
We put an end to Dan quit. But we'll come around to that just in a sec. Like, we decided to get a bit more focused, didn't we? Because we are let's players.
We were just picking completely games at random. Like we had stuff like, some of it was just like, oh, this demo is free, let's play that. And it wasn't even particularly like a demo of a new game. It was just like, this is on the store, let's just give that a go. And then stuff like that Mousecraft game we played, just awful. But you look back now and go, why did we record that?
Yeah,
but it was just picking games at random time and just like, that looks fine, let's do something on that.
We wanted to become
drunk and chat shit.
We wanted to be more focused. That's why we decided to focus on like full LPs, which was our first, like you said, our first Let's Play was Life is Strange, and that was a decision that both me and you came up with in a pub, obviously, and we said it to Dan, and then Dan wasn't really keen on it. I think he said that wouldn't translate as a good Let's Play because it's quite a slow-paced game. but I liked it. You liked it, and I think Nikki liked it as well. And I think we all.
I think
got
Dan
into it.
just didn't like the game as well. I think that was the main thing.
Yeah,
He didn't like the game, and he wouldn't give a explanation for like, why don't you like it? Seems like a good game. So I just don't like it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of not liking the game and not thinking it had come across very well, which is a fair thing to say. But I think it came out quite well. Still quite proud of that. Let's play. Had some good moments in it, like when we talked a character down off a roof and we all went, "Yay!"
Can we talk about like sort of like our backgrounds, because none of us have like video created, like none of us have a background in video content creating. We don't have like a digital background or anything like that.
No, we're just a bunch of chances that thought we'd give it a go.
Just a bunch of pissheads, just like was given like we just decided
we can do this.
Yeah. You could like tell like our whole our tagline is we drink beer and play video games. That was primarily like our punch, but it's like slowly we realize it's like I slowly realize I can't keep that up, like drinking beer every time we make videos, because like my liver would like would implode. But we because we just wanted to come across, we're just mates who just get together and do this for fun. I mean, we make no money from YouTube. We're not monetized yet or anything like that. We do have over 1,000 subscribers, but we haven't reached that threshold of 4,000 hours watched. I don't think we're coming up to,
and we probably never will.
Who knows? Like, please check out our YouTube channel, like Game with Chums, like get involved. But yeah, like so like yeah, Dan then he left quite early into it. He was about 6 months in. I'd say he just sort of lost interest.
Yeah, it was halfway through the Life is Strange Let's Play actually that he quit, and because we'd been recording at his place and we were playing the game on his PS4, I had to replay half of the game on Xbox One so that we could carry on recording it. So I had to watch our Let's Plays back and make every single decision the same, and it took hours. And yeah, so that we could continue recording it here on the Xbox. But yeah, Dan left about halfway through that, and
still never gave us a proper good explanation why he left.
He never did.
Just sort of brushed it off. We're like, oh, so why didn't you do it? I was like, so okay. We're still friends, but
we did wonder if like you and me getting a bit more serious about it kind of took a bit of the shine off of it for him.
Maybe we took too many executive decisions and we sort of ignored him. Who knows? I like to think it was it is a collaborative thing. We all agree. We all have an idea, and there's not one in charge really. It's all. I think it's quite equal.
I think the original. I remember Dan saying like, just record videos whenever and just throw them up, and I was like, no, we need a schedule.
Yeah. Probably
we need to be putting stuff up like relatively consistently, so that if people are going to watch, they know like the next video is going to come. And you can't put a video up and like have nothing for a month, and then put another video up and then have nothing for 3 weeks. And I do wonder if that kind of put him off a bit, because he was like, it's a bit more structured than I was anticipating.
Who knows? But before we
if you're listening, tell us.
Yeah, he does listen to this. He really likes the podcast and he wants to be on it. So we will have maybe our first guest will be Dan, and we'll grill him. Yeah. But
why do you hate us, Dan?
Why? Before we get too much like into our history, can we like do you have any influences? Like, was there a particular YouTube creator or online influencer that like sort of influenced your thinking of how the channel should be run, or was it all just purely like whatever makes? Because we are Let's Players, so was there like a particular Let's Player on YouTube that sort of influenced the way how you wanted to do it, or is it all just purely like by like how
it's all instinct, baby?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, and this is going to sound terrible considering what we do, but I don't watch any Let's Players.
Wow.
I don't really watch that many YouTube content creators, honestly. I watch a few outlets for like specific things, like
like you watch the big ones, the main.
Yeah, I watch bits and pieces here and there of like
IGN or something like
IGN's Well, I listen to IGN's podcast Unlocked every now and then, just because I quite enjoy the banter between them. And what was the other one I was listening to? Oh, the Kind of Funny Xcast I listened to, because that's quite good. It's got Gary Whitta on it, and Paris, who's also on another Xbox podcast, the Gamer Tag Radio one. So I listen to podcasts and stuff. I actually prefer to watch them so I can see them.
It's funny that, isn't it? Podcasts are primarily meant to be audio, but there are a lot more people that do video and audio. But sorry,
I much prefer watching them. But generally, I'll watch stuff like for specific games. Really, like I'll watch FF14 content. I'll watch some. There's a couple of Halo YouTubers I watch, Uber Nick and Proximity, just because they're
Proximity
they're good at the game, so it's quite fun to watch them be good at the game. And another one called Shyway, who does a lot of like technical stuff, with like teaching you how to move around maps and stuff. But generally, I don't really watch any Let's Players. A lot of the stuff I watch on YouTube is food videos, to be honest. Binging with Babish and Joshua Weissman. I just end up watching like cookery videos. Or Mike Chen, a Chinese American guy, travels around the world eating everything.
Yeah, I mean,
makes me hungry.
We could do a separate podcast about YouTubers that we enjoy. But yeah, like for myself, there's like there was one that really influenced me when we decided to do a YouTube channel, which was they started off as two best friends play, and there were two guys from Canada who they would do stuff for Machinima. Remember Machinima? They would do videos for them. Machinima. Yeah, they would do Let's Plays, and it was condensed down into like a 20-minute video. But they also like did full Let's Plays, and I used to watch them a lot when I was back in, oh god, it's probably about 8 years ago. They've ceased now. They've all fallen out, funny enough, so they stopped playing. But yeah,
I remember you watching them sometimes when we would get together and just
and it was quite similar to how we do it now. Like we would rip on each other, or it was just banter, and we just talk about like life and what. It was more like focused on anything but the game. So they would play it, but they would just bring up random conversations. That really influenced me, and I know like we try to get that across in our early videos. But when you're playing and drinking, it's sometimes like not a great combination. There was times I lost my temper at you once, like when I was playing Mass Effect 3, and you kept ribbing me because of I was like. I know you were ripping me for the sake of the video, but I was like, just shut up. And you're just like, oh shit. You had to cut that bit out. So
I had to edit the end of the video because you got very angry.
I was getting angry.
Because I think we'd been recording for like 9 hours, and we did that one last, and we were all a bit drunk, and you were missing every single target because we were all pissed. Yeah. And me and Dan were just kind of ripping the piss out of you, and you got very upset.
I got upset.
I had to edit the end of the video out.
Yeah. But another one, before we like move on, another YouTube channel that's slightly influenced me is like Outside Xbox. That's a big sort of influence. I like their camaraderie and their style, and I always like they do a lot of like top 10 videos and videos about certain sections of like what's the best games with the most like QTEs or something like that. They will discuss that. But they also
times a boss kicked your ass in interesting ways.
Stuff like that. But I do like their interactions with each other and stuff. And I sort of like also like stuff like with Eurogamer. I think more for the fact that I was looking for like things to influence me how I would do our artwork. So I looked at them, like them Outside Xbox and Eurogamer, and how they would sort of brand everything. Less about their content, but more about how they would brand everything. So I sort of I think my color scheme was influenced by a Eurogamer, the blue.
Yeah, blue and white.
Yeah, blue and white. So I think that is, and how they just place everything and stuff. So that's what influenced me, and their content was quite similar. They have banter, but it's more watered down than ours. I don't think they swear. We swear like sailors, but we're doing that less now because like we're trying to because like once you get monetized, you can, I think you can have like one swear. It's like a PG-13 or something like that. You can allow one F word, and then other those that they will not monetize you. So
Single
yeah,
F-bomb.
yeah, those sort of channels sort of influence me, and there's probably a few, but at the top of my head, those ones. I watch a lot of like sort of British like YouTubers and content creators, because we're from Britain. We all have like this similar sense of humors and ways of thinking. But yeah, like that's for me anyway. For like in a sort of like a design sense, that's what sort of influenced my way how I designed all our sort of artwork and stuff like that, and our logos. But content wise, it was more like two best friends play that influenced how I would like how I wanted our videos to be. But they sort of grown naturally, and now we do our own thing, because obviously we can't be in the same room together. So you got your own let's plays, I got mine. I do watch your videos, and I do notice we have sort of similar style but also different, if that makes sense, because we're two different people. So we both like have, you can tell the difference between especially our talk, the way we talk. Yeah. So yeah, that's like, where was I going with this? Yeah,
I'll be honest, I find it more difficult to record solo content, because you kind of have to.
I enjoy having someone to bounce off of.
Yeah, there's that, and it's just like when you're playing by yourself, you get a bit more into the game, because you most of the time when you're playing games, you are sitting in your room by yourself playing a single player game or whatever. You're not talking to someone else. You're not paying attention to other stuff. Whereas when we record together, which we haven't been able to do in over a year at this point, you're paying enough attention to the game, but you're paying more attention to like bouncing off of one another. So the chat just kind of flows more naturally. Whereas when I'm recording on my own, sometimes I think, crap, I haven't said anything in 20 seconds. I better start talking. And then it's harder to kind of stop waffling,
I
because
agree.
you're kind of thinking of something to say.
I really like find like even when I watch back our videos, and I hear like 20 seconds of silence, it makes it feel uncomfortable for me personally. I'd listen to it, I go, we should be talking there a bit more, and
it feels like the atmosphere's died.
Yeah. So, and maybe like to begin with, like when we used to drink like a lot, like when we did the videos, a lot of it was to not loosen our tongues, but make us more comfortable, because we were all quite nervous when we did it. But when we had a drink, things would come easier, if you know what I mean. It will flow more. It'll be just like us. Yeah, it'll just be like us in a pub, just like all having a laugh and stuff like that, chatting shit. But now we started off just doing random videos. Then we started focusing on let's plays. Then we started focusing on Pacific stuff. Like I remember when you decided you wanted to do every Final Fantasy game, like do a short video of them to camera. It was for the anniversary or something, wasn't it? Or
yeah, it was the 30th anniversary. So
30th anniversary. So you come up with the idea to
2017.
play every mainline Final Fantasy game within a month or something, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Within a month. I think we put one up.
Yeah.
I think we put 3 a week up or something like that.
Yeah.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we'd just play. We'd like start the game up. We'd let the intro play without us talking over it, and then we'd just like play the first sort of hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours, whatever, wherever felt like a good break point. And we did that for the entire mainline series, even Final Fantasy 11, which was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, I never want to do that again. Just trying to install that and get it to run. And then once you're in the game, actually trying to figure out how to play it is not an intuitive, player-friendly game. Even once you've got past like the whole play online thing and getting in, creating an account, it was awful. And I had to do that one solo, because when you came over to record it, I still hadn't managed to install it. So I was like, I'm still figuring this out. I'm gonna have to. So I had to do that one solo. And I never want to do that again.
Yeah, but that was a good achievement.
I enjoyed the series. Yeah, I'm really proud of the series.
Yeah,
and I guess as the series keeps growing, we can add more to it. But there hasn't been another one since. Final Fantasy 15 was the last one, and 16's not out yet.
And also we like, this was another thing that influenced me from two best friends play. Every month they would do a month of horror games for Halloween, and I wanted to do this similar, not rip them off because I think a lot of people do that now, but they do. We do that now as well. So our first year was, I think we did pretty well. I think the second year we sort of laxed off. I don't remember it being.
First year was the best one.
Yeah,
we did a ton of content for that.
the second year I think it was, we did the House of the Dead Overkill. Just
No,
that.
I think that was the third.
I don't know. Anyway, like
Doesn't matter. But yeah,
we done
one year
that.
we just did that Let's Play and it bombed.
Yeah, did badly. But we also we decided to do not vlogs, but we record outside. We did pickups, we did conventions, which I have to say, like, our live stuff does better than our video game stuff.
Way better.
Yeah, we normally we like to record when we go to conventions. So we go like Hyper Japan, London Anime and Gaming Con, MCM Gaming Market. We go to the London Gaming Market. Yeah, and Res, and we went to EGX. We record those as well. Obviously, like, I know, like, when we started, it was, we would use cameras, we would use our phones, but it was always an audio issue, funny enough. And I remember the last time we were together and we did a video, it was at LAGC, was it LAGC? Yeah, the one in North London in the Metropolitan University, London Anime and Gaming Con, and you bought some lapel microphones, which really helped with the audio quality.
Yeah,
so
that was way better.
If it wasn't for the pandemic, I would have liked to done more and get sort of more professional, because I got a GoPro. I wanted to get them, like, we wanted to get better mic quality. So when we did shoot it, the quality would be better. Like, video wise, the quality is okay, because I remember when I first did it, I was very shaky, so the camera shook everywhere, and I was quite. And I don't know if it's the same with you, but when you're filming outside, you feel like a bit like
people are staring at you.
Yeah, staring. But after a while, you get used to it.
There's also the fact that if you're holding like a 600-pound phone and you kind of don't want to drop it, and you kind of try. You don't look at the phone half the time, so you don't realize you kind of around too fast and stuff. But yeah, I wanted to get better at that stuff. But I think the first sort of live stuff we did was literally just like pick. Go and.
Your audio is cutting out, mate.
What now?
Your audio is cutting out. I think when you moved around, it cut out a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I can hear you now.
You might have to edit that.
No, man, that'll stay in, dude. That'll stay in. This is all the process.
We'll do it live.
Yeah, this is all the process, mate. Every other podcast keeps it in, so I'm keeping it in too.
Yeah, we used to. I mean, I say used to before the pandemic, obviously, which who can remember that far back now? But we used to do what we'd call either a Saturday or a Sunday adventure, because got nothing better to do on a weekend. Let's meet up, go and have a look around some nerdy shops, and then go to a pub, have a few.
Yeah.
And we every now and then we'd pick stuff up. Like, we might go to a secondhand game store or something. We might pick something up, and we were like, maybe we should make a video out of this. So we did a few of those where we just maybe bought some anime or bought a game from a secondhand shop or something, and we just sit in a pub beer garden and go, "What did you buy? I bought this." And I think that was kind of where we decided to do more live stuff. And then, because we've been going to conventions and stuff for years at this point, probably 12 years since I first went to my first MCM. I think it was 2009. You've been to a few before that. And we were just like, yeah, we go to these things, we should do a video. So yeah, our live stuff does really well. I think our LAGC videos tend to get up near 1,000 views, because
a lot for us.
I think it's So I think what happens is, as the next one rolls around, people are like, oh, I've never heard this thing. I wonder what it's like, and they check out videos, and they happen to find our video and watch it. So we seem to get spikes in those before the next event rolls around. And speaking of event videos, there's one which we regret a bit, which we've mentioned we I don't know if we've mentioned it in a video before, but we've talked about it ourselves. I think it was our last Hyper Japan video, where we literally just like spent the whole thing drinking, and the entire video was just like, "What are you drinking there? Oh, I've got this Japanese beer called whatever. What are you drinking now? I've got this sake." It was just like the whole video was just us like bouncing from one booze cellar to the next, and we didn't really cover anything else in the video.
The thing is, like with that, I didn't realize I recorded everything news from your perspective. I'm not in the video at all. You can hear me. I'm the cameraman, but it was all you. So it just looks like, you know, you're just there drinking on your own. So
and you're following me around to make sure I'm all
following
right.
you just to watch you. But
sorry about
the thing is like that's another thing.
Ghost fell off the shelf.
Oh, come on, man. It's another thing. Like I was thinking, like when everything opens up again and everyone's been vaccinated and not turned into zombies, we'll probably like revive the Sunday Adventure and have it as its own series, like a Sunday or Saturday Adventure. Yeah. So we'll go.
Sounds like a good idea.
We'll go. It won't just be Croydon. It could be Bromley, Central London, and just go. Because I want to get out, you know. I need to get out and like see the world, see the people again.
Get out of these four walls.
And like I'll be probably buying games, videos, and other such things, merchandise. So yeah, we can revive that and have it at its own series. Yeah, and there'll be a lot of drinking involved in that. So
yeah, it will be.
It'll be more be like what you're drinking there. But yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, one of the other ideas we had for a video, which again, I think we talked about it for a while. We didn't get a chance to do it before lockdown sort of started biting, was we were going to have like a spending limit and go to a secondhand game store and like whoever bought the best stuff wins the challenge kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we might still do that at some point.
I mean, yeah, that's we were like we could discuss like what we plan to do for the future of the channel. That is definitely one of the ideas. I mean, yeah, we're probably more open to trying different sort of video, not like formats, like concepts, because it can, like, I know we're Let's Players, but Let's Playing, I personally think it is dying on YouTube since the rise of streaming, because you can stream whole games like for hours on there and people can just watch it then. Yeah. So you like Let's Playing, it has its place. Some people still like it, but I think it's becoming, people are less and less, and people are sort of making their videos more focused on the particular parts of games, or do you know what I mean?
It's not the thing to build your channel on these days. It's kind of, and it's kind of why I wouldn't say we've moved away from it a bit, in the sense that like you started the Exploring Game Pass series to kind of move away from it a bit, so we're not completely reliant on it, where we just sort of like look what's on Game Pass and do sort of like a one-off video on it, because our one-off videos on like a random game do tend to do better than our Let's Plays anyway. And so we do some of those every now and then. We do need to get back to doing co-op stuff, because we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, that's another thing you did. Is you wanted to, before the release of Halo Infinite, you wanted to play through every mainline Halo game, which we have apart from ODST, but we could still do it, but it's not essential, like, I don't think, because it is just like a side story to Halo 3. But yeah, we want to do more Let's Co-op stuff. We have talked about it, but we just haven't really gotten around to doing it as of yet. But there will be more Let's Co-op stuff for our Let's Co-op series. Yeah, like you said, like I wanted to, because Game Pass is just too good an opportunity to like not make videos about it, and it's so much video, so much content
stuff launching into it, constantly stuff going into it.
So I thought, well, let's focus a bit more. Let's make a series on it about exploring Game Pass, because we could just put it into our random quick look videos, but I wanted to be a bit more focused on Game Pass itself. So that's why I thought, let's just do a series.
Because
on it.
we're Xbox shills. Give us money, Phil Spencer.
Well, if PlayStation like did their own version, we'll probably do that as well. But I don't see them doing that. So,
I mean, I don't even have a PlayStation at the moment. I lent my PS4 to my brother.
oh, you don't have one? All right. Shit. Yeah, I don't. Okay, I still got my PS4, and yeah, we are primarily, we do a lot of Xbox stuff. It's just so much easier at the moment with Game Pass and everything that most of our stuff comes up. And obviously we do videos for PlayStation because they had more exclusive content.
Yeah, we've done quite a bit of PlayStation stuff. It's just we are both kind of primarily Xbox gamers, really.
Yeah.
I do the odd bit of PC stuff. You've done some PC stuff.
I've done some, yeah. But yeah, like so at the present we're doing the podcast. I mean, we wanted to do it. This was one of our objectives to do a podcast, was if we reached 1,000 subscribers, we would do a podcast, and we did. We've reached 1,000. We're nearly approaching 1,100. So we set ourselves goals.
And then we were like, oh God, now we've got to do it.
Now we got to bloody do it, and it's a pain in the ass. No, it's not really. I was always interested. It's just a thing, like you want to make your podcast interesting, and there's so many podcasts are everywhere now. They weren't like how they were before, when it was very like, oh, you got a podcast. Ooh, you must be very important.
It's kind of like a mark of success that you have a podcast before.
Yeah, but
and now the fact that we've done it shows that's not the case.
That's not the case. But I do watch the analytics, and we do get quite a few listeners, surprisingly, like from various parts of the world. So
I think the thing with podcasts is, like, we kind of touched on it earlier when I was saying, like, I prefer to watch podcasts rather than listen, but they are primarily like an audio medium. Like I think most people do, they just like throw a podcast in the background while they're doing something else. So it's just like, I think people might be more willing to give your content a shot if they can do that. Whereas like if they like, oh, these guys have like done let's plays of the entire Halo franchise, I don't really know if I want to sit down and watch all that. But hey, they've got a podcast, I'll throw it on in the background while I'm doing my ironing or whatever.
If they're
listen,
doing ironing, washing the dishes, sitting on the toilet, having us like listen to our dreary English accents,
narrating their adventures on the throne.
Yep.
But I don't know about you, but I'm really enjoying the podcast so far.
I really do, and it's especially amongst our friends, people do enjoy it, and I really like it, and I'm hoping like it will carry on for this foreseeable future. And also another thing that we've revived is our live streaming, because like we said before earlier in the podcast, we were doing lots of Mixer live streams, and obviously Mixer's dead, so we just hopped onto the Twitch Twitch train. Now we're doing a lot of Twitch streams, which is primarily I've been doing Apex. It's not going to be just Apex streams, but I want to sort of focus our Twitch channel more on multiplayer than single player, because we do let's plays for single player, so that's where that's how I want it to be. But for multiplayers, I think they translate better when you do it live, like a live stream of it, like shooters, anything like Fall Guys, stuff like that is better live stream,
especially stuff
video
that is
than YouTube.
Especially stuff that you're playing like with others.
Yeah, with other friends.
Just like
because we have done videos
rather than like solo queuing a multiplayer game and just like say sitting there on your own playing Call of Duty or something.
We have done
playing with other players.
We have
with
done
with friends.
We have done videos on Apex and Fortnite for our YouTube channel, and they've just not done very well.
And PUBG. We had a kind of
PUBG series,
reasonably long running series on PUBG. And,
it doesn't really work in sort of like short formats. It has to be like a long sort of. People don't want to just see half an hour. They want to see just like a long 3 or 4 hour live stream, even something to be on the background or something just to watch. to see how well you're doing and stuff. They don't really want it. Because with like certain video games, especially story based, they're more better episodic, I think, personally. But that's why I probably won't do like a single player story on Twitch. That'll be for YouTube. But anything like involving other people, like Mario Kart, for instance, I would like to do a live stream of that with all our friends.
Oh, you might like to do it, but Nintendo wouldn't like you to do it.
Oh, bollocks one, then that's how yeah, Nintendo. Oh, they're the bane of like streamers and YouTubers, and people love them. I love them, but my God, they're so like anti like content creating. They just
It's
don't
why
like
we
people.
basically don't do anything Nintendo on the channel.
Nintendo.
Like we both have a Switch, but we don't really do anything. I think we've put like a couple of videos up here and there, just like quick look type things. But that's it. We don't really want to do much Nintendo stuff because we're scared of getting a strike.
Striking video taken
just for
down.
doing something that you do for other like games.
Nintendo are very stuck in their ways when they're very open to this sort of world of free publicity and content creating. They're very stuck in their ways, but you know, people let them slide because they're Nintendo. But yeah, so that's the present. Like we're doing podcasts, we're live streaming more. Like, but for the future, like, what do you see? What would you like to do in the future? What is, like, do you have any plans, or do you have any sort of any way you want the channel to sort of grow? And
Well, I think, as we've kind of mentioned already, I really want to start doing more sort of like live sort of vlogging stuff. Not necessarily like, oh, I got up and this is what I had for breakfast today, and then
had a
the mail
shower.
came, and all that. None of that kind of crap, but just like getting out there and doing more sort of live stuff. Like we've done a fair bit. We do the event stuff. We also did a video when we went to Shoryu Ramen.
Yeah. Oh, like yeah. Jesus, that was a Final Fantasy thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had a tie-in with Shadowbringers. We did a video for that, and I don't think anyone cared.
No, but I think that got like 50 views. That was just fucking god awful. Well, for the performance wise, yeah.
But yeah, it's I'd like to do more stuff like that. Just because I want to get out of the fucking house. Because we've been stuck inside for a year. Yeah. But yeah, sort of. I think that's about it, really. Maybe move a bit more away from Let's Plays, because a lot of the stuff I'm doing is still Let's Plays. Like I've got my Quantum Break Let's Play still going on, and it's not really going anywhere. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do when I finish that. I'll finish it, obviously, but I'm not sure what I'll do after that. I might just focus more on sort of like one-shot stuff for a little while and just see how that performs, rather than get back into another Let's Play. Because Let's Plays are good for like consistent content, and it kind of feels like a decent backbone for your content, because you know there's going to be another episode, and you don't have to think about, oh, what game am I going to do a quick look of today. I might just, I don't know, I'm thinking of just like raiding my old consoles and just like maybe doing some kind of retro series, because we did used to do some retro stuff as well, and we haven't done in a while.
Yeah, unfortunately I can't capture my Elgato doesn't let me capture anything without HDMI output, so, and it's expensive to buy one.
Yeah, mine does, but my OG Xbox, which has got some of the games I wanted to play, is broken. So I'll have to get another OG Xbox at some point, because there's games on that I'd like to make some videos on. So I think that might be a focus in sort of like the near term. Once I can get another console, just start doing more stuff on that. Because I think, like you kind of touched on this earlier when you were talking about other YouTubers, and I think most successful channels tend to have like a niche, like a specific area of focus. Like there'll be like a retro gamer, or there'll be like a specific streamer of a certain game, or there'll be like a person that breaks down certain game mechanics and stuff like that. Whereas we're kind of quite scattershot. Like we'll do a Let's Play, we'll do a quick look, we'll do a blog, we'll do a vlog kind of video, we'll do a podcast, and that's fine. I like having a variety of content. It's more interesting for me that way. it might be an idea to have specific focus as something of a bit of a backbone rather than having Let's Plays as a backbone, because they're not really doing very well.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's something to look into for sure. Yeah. Me personally with the channel, yeah, I like I said, like, Let's Plays. I still do them, but I've been tending to trying to look for shorter games to Let's Play. So I trade Battlefront because it can be completed in 4 hours. So I don't want nothing too long. But what obviously, like, I like the channel to grow a bit more, like more audience sized, and sort of like I like people to like watch our videos more. And then
It'd be nice to get some kind of community
yeah,
build up
like, I
around
mean, we have like we started a Discord. There's people on there, but they're mostly like friends of ours or friends of friends. Obviously we got this podcast, we got the Twitch, we got other, like, we got Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that, even Tumblr. But I would like to do collabs with other YouTubers. I mean, I'm gonna start putting the feelers out there soon. We were gonna do a collab with a YouTube channel called Two Gaming Dudes, was it? The American guys.
This
Yeah,
was like way back right at the beginning
way
of the
back
channel.
when we started. Like, we were actually more like, people will get messages from other YouTubers and stuff, but channels were similar size to us. But their channel got taken down because they started to do a lot of lewd, like hentai sort of games, and they tried
anime games.
They tried to their best to sort of put sort of like like, what's the things, like a black bars or censors, but they got a strike and now their channel's completely gone. So now they're on Pornhub, and I can't see us doing that. But yeah, I would like up. So like, I want to like do collabs with other YouTubers, but you got to get to know them first, because I don't want them to turn out to be dicks or have some sort of ideals
Secret
that
Nazis.
would, yeah, something that would like conflicts with your own, and then you're in hot water. You got to be very careful these days. But yeah, that's what I would like to do, is like collabs. And I do plan to. He's not a YouTuber, but I will be like playing a game, FIFA, with a friend because he likes to play FIFA, so that'll be interesting. He does Twitch as well, but his Twitch channel is nothing as well, like kind of like ours. But we do have like an anime video coming out, which will be focusing on the My Anime list. So that's something different. That'll be good to. I think it's more like we want to have more ideas. It's just like the editing stuff will probably puts us off a bit, because we are like, it's very simple
Total
to do.
amateurs.
It's just very simple to do Let's Plays. All you need to do is like upload a video and put our little intro thing on, and chop off parts, like normally the beginning and the end, and then export it. But I would like to do something that's a bit more like technical and put a bit more effects into it and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is one thing I'd like to do, actually, get better at editing and stuff, get a bit more proficient, and obviously try and use better software, because Shotcut is awful. I hate it and I want it to die.
I've been having
can't afford anything.
Yeah,
So.
we use one shortcut as our editing tool, because it's free. But now I've noticed that it's every time I edit a video, it keeps coming up with an alert saying you're running out of memory. I'm just like, oh, okay. And that's only since I've upgraded it, because I got a newer version. The old one didn't do that. Now this new one does, and I'm just like, oh, what the hell? Like, that's not good. So yeah, like, well, we want to. If you want to evolve, you've got to sort of learn new things. So that's what we want to do.
You've also got to pay for it as well. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, like
better video editing software costs a lot of money, because it's all subscription based now.
Yeah, we got to put the money in, and that's why I sort of reached out to people, the artists on Fiverr, and she will be doing our artwork for us, which we know what kind of artwork it will be. So hopefully, like by the end of the following week, it'll be available, and I will just sort of put that on to our artwork, and that's something
Finally
new.
get rid of Dan on our banner.
Yeah,
Yay.
he's still there after, even though he's not been part of the channel for like 3 years. So he'll be gone off everything, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. But yeah, like in terms of like, yeah, like content creation, it's, I don't know. Yeah, I would like to do something. How could I say, like, yeah, maybe it's weird. Like, yeah, I would like to do more live stuff. Like I said, that Sunday adventure, Saturday adventure thing sort of grips, like, is a good idea, and I think that would be quite interesting to do. But yeah, I like more sort of. I wanted to do like a series on the OG Xbox and focusing on that, but obviously I can't capture anything with the OG Xbox, and as we both got a ton of games on there that we could each play on there and sort of discuss a bit more in depth.
Yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, it's like I do I see ourselves doing this for another 3 or 4 years? Probably, yeah. I mean, we kept going. I mean, we haven't had like,
stop.
yeah, we haven't had like mega success or anything like that, but we enjoy what we do, and it's fun for the most part.
That's the main thing, really. We
just,
enjoy doing it, which is why
yeah.
we do it. If we didn't enjoy it and we weren't getting anywhere, we wouldn't still be here.
Mhm.
We enjoy making content and putting it up, and that's why we're still doing it. We're not making any money. We haven't made a single penny off of it since we started. We may never do.
They may never do.
We're still here.
I mean, like for me, like I think it's more like in terms of like for the YouTube and everything, it's more the sort of the creative sort of side, less with the videos, more with the art stuff. I like doing more. I enjoyed like creating like our logo and stuff like that, and our artwork. It's like a good outlet. And like I do want to work. I know we discussed it. We were looking into doing a Patreon, but we don't feel like we're got much to offer, or we got a big enough audience for that just yet. But that might be something we'll look into. Also, like
I think we're way off that at the moment, but it's
we're
definitely
way off that. But
something we consider when the time feels
the
right.
thing is, I've seen other content creators similar size to us who do have it. So you can just have it, but I don't think we not deserve
I mean,
it.
we could set one up today if we wanted to, but we don't really have much to offer on it.
I don't think we're at that place yet where we can sort of have people pay for us, and we're not at that sort of place that I think we're capable of. And also, like I was thinking of, like, obviously I wanted to design sort of t-shirts and stuff with our logos or some designs and stuff, but that's like I said, this is all in the future, but that could happen. And there's lots of like places that you can go to, like Etsy and stuff, where you can give your logos, your designs, and they will print them on t-shirts
for you.
And then we could like have a limited sale of some t-shirts, and like us as kawaii anime characters, who knows, but yeah, that's something to look to in the future. Obviously we're going to keep doing what we're doing now.
One other thing as well, actually,
that
we've talked about this ourselves before, would be like thinking it would be cool to sort of like do a panel at LAGC or something.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Obviously, that's the kind of thing where you have to be invited to do it.
Yeah.
Just like turn up and we're doing a panel.
I can't believe we forgot about that. Yeah. That's another thing. Yeah. We if any small conventions or anything, listen to this and you're stuck for people to talk on your stage,
we'll do it for beer.
Pay us in beer, and we'll do it. You can get in contact with us for our email address, which is again with chums@gmail.com, or on Twitter. Drop us a DM, man. But that's something I would like to do. What will we talk about? We'll probably talk about the same thing we're talking about now. Probably less articulate, because we'll probably have a few drinks to get over nerves. Even if there's only like 3 people, 4 people watching, that would still make me nervous.
Oh, I'm really nervous. Go up there and talk in front of people. Have a beer, you'll be fine.
I mean, LAGC, we love you guys. We always go to you guys. We enjoy the sort of, not the ghetto-ness, the sort of the small the smallness, the sort of like, it's like how like
the grassroots kind of
the
feel.
grassroots. Yeah, it's very small, but I can see it can grow bigger, I reckon. It does get
Small
a lot of
and
people in there. Yeah. It's not like,
honestly, I think they need a better venue, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, like, come south, like
South of the river.
we got Fairfields in Croydon now, so that's something news. But yeah,
actually, another thing I've just thought of that I mentioned before, it completely slipped my mind. I think I mentioned this to you ages back, like when 1,000 subs was like some crazy dream. But I was thinking of sort of approaching like developers and publishers once we had like maybe 1,000 subs, and seeing if you can get like review code to do some video reviews and stuff. Because my background is actually writing, rather than like video creation. And I studied journalism at uni and wanted to get into writing about games, really, and just never managed to find a way into it. But I enjoy sort of, I've written game reviews and stuff in the past for like small websites, and I wouldn't mind kind of leveraging that to write a scripted review, capture some footage, edit it together. But obviously, I'd need to be way better at video editing to do that, but that's something I might look into in the near term as well.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
I mean, see if anyone will give us free games.
I mean, this is not a goal, but if any sponsors are out there and you want to plug, just drop us a line, man. That's how people do it these days. I remember back in the day, people looked down their noses at people who did sponsors, because the ad revenue on YouTube was a lot better than it is now. But yeah, I think that covers it. I mean, that's a bunch of friends who like to drink and hang out together just decided to make a YouTube channel with each other. One left, and now we've carried on doing it. We've sort of evolved, and I think
things
grew, and we're trying new things that we wouldn't have thought of to do like a couple of years ago, or wouldn't wanted to do. And who knows what the next 4 years will hold for us, man. I mean, we could be doing the same thing with the same amount of people. We still enjoy what we do. But yeah, I think that's about it, Mr. Ross. We don't have any questions yet because no one's let us any questions. But this will be the question section. If you want to drop us a question, ask us a question, we'll answer it live on the podcast. We'll answer it on the podcast. Just drop us a message on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, and just
comment under the video. We'll check that.
Leave a comment, yeah. But yeah, so this video will be available also on Spotify, and hopefully it will also be available on Google Podcast and iTunes soon. That I am planning to do that. Be patient, that will be going up. But yeah, I think that's about it, isn't it, Mr. Ross? Anything last?
I think that's a wrap. Explains nicely who we are, what we're doing, where we came from, why we're doing it, maybe where we'll go next. And hopefully, if you're enjoying our content, please let us know. And if you are, hopefully keep following us and see where we go.
Well,
until then, this is episode 4 of Game with Chums podcast. Thank you for listening. And as Paul says, we'll be on Spotify and everything if you want the audio version, YouTube if you want to see our terrible, terrible faces, and super kawaii Paul right there. You're going to need to watch it to see. That's right. Thanks for listening, and we will be back again in 2 weeks when Paul will be hosting, probably doing a better job of it than I am. And see you then. Bye.
Bye.